You're the one. You're the one he said would come here. You're the one he seeks. You are the betrayer. You are Matilda.
How do you know that name? Who are you?
He spoke to me.
Good framing.
The black-robed man told me you would come here. He told me that the disturbance he created would coax you from your hiding place.
Do not speak in riddles. I have killed for less.
He says that long ago you betrayed him. He says that you killed him. But now he has returned. The black-robed man. He says he was once your master. Your Jedi master.
No, he was killed in the Mandalorian Wars. I saw his death with my own eyes. You, who are you? Why do you speak to me of this man? This dead man? Right, great positioning, dude. You should have been put fucking anywhere else so we can see you in the fucking shot that we start off at. I don't know if you can control it and it worked fine every time they were out, but it doesn't work this time, so I get to complain about something. Who fucking tested it? I don't know. He kind of is blowing out his mic, but then again, I can't really point that out since I kind of blow out my mic as well. And also it's an amateur mod, but not too bad so far. What's going on here? Who is this man? Do you know him? Who is this man? Do you know him?
The dead man. He approached me and promised me great riches and great power. But in return for this charity, I must first cleanse the galaxy of the creature which betrayed him.
I will ask this only once. Where is he? I will find out for myself if he is truly alive. Do you hear me? Tell me what I want to know or I will break you.
He promised me great riches. He promised me great power. But in return for this charity, I must cleanse the galaxy of the creature that betrayed him.
You're pitying yourself, dude. Also, you're wearing fucking tatters. We've got lightsabers and you've got a knife, essentially. We will plague the guy and just absolutely wreck him.
What?
He resisted plague. Okay. He resisted kill, and he's resisting her doing what? There we go. That should be enough then.
Sure.
Oh, so you just heal yourself. Was he supposed to heal himself during combat, so the combat is harder?
The pain of failure.
Yeah. Now, you will tell me what I want to know. You better be fast.
I was in a bar, drinking. Had a bad day. Lost all my credits at Bazak. Then he came. He promised me power. Promised me riches. He promised to take away the pain.
Where is he now? Why hasn't he contacted me himself?
He told me he was headed to a place called the Gorban Wastes. That's all I know. All I wanted to know.
Or did he heal so we can have this conversation, or else he'll be dead, and this won't happen? It appears my fears have been confirmed. And you're gonna tell me all about them, or else. Gorban seems a strange place for a Jedi Master to travel to. Not really, this is a place that sort of congregates fallen Jedi. There's the Jedi Master in Gorban. Do you know him? The past I had left behind, the past I had forgotten, it has returned to haunt me. No! As your shadow, I mustn't allow this to weaken me. I am better than this. Yeah, stop being a little bitch. I don't need you crying in my shoulder or my sleeve, something like that. We need to return to Ebon Hawk. It is no longer safe for us to remain here. Quiet. We can continue this when we are on Ebon Hawk. We have already attract enough attention here. Yeah, let's all scoff on her. I understand, my lord. We shall return to Ebonhawk at once. I would prefer if we need to go to the wastes. We're gonna have to resolve that. I'll talk to her, and if she tells us, like I said, let's go to Ebonhawk and talk about that there. That's smart, I guess. I just want to be sure whether she actually has anything to say here. And other than that, we were supposed to go to the Korban Wastes. We should make our way back to Ebonhawk with great haste. I feel time is a luxury we cannot afford to waste. Yeah. I guess we're going to Ebonhawk then. So what she could possibly have to say? Better find that out right quick. Cause also I've come across some information about some very important shit going on in the world, of course, which is porn. So we're gonna go over that as well. Solomon, I had forgotten you. Are you truly alive? Possibly, considering the game is called Solomon's Revenge. Solomon, was this man important to you once? This Solomon, will he pose a threat to me? Yeah, of course selfish, that's a better question. This Solomon, will he pose a threat to me? Solomon was a Jedi Master. Solomon was my Jedi Master. Your Jedi Master? Tell me of him. So Solomon was the one who trained you in the Jedi ways. Again, this is hardly an option to put the dialogue to steer a dialogue in a certain direction, but it is an opportunity to roleplay, I guess. And again, it's not even that you're getting the basics of light side, dark side, and sarcastic. So since we need to, we're gonna go with dark side. He rescued me from my life as a slave on a planet in the Outer Rim named Sleheiron, and then brought me into the Jedi Order. I became his Padawan, his protege. Darius Solomon was the Echani, a culture of warriors who perceive combat as a form of self-expression and communication. Even before becoming a Jedi Master, he was considered by many to be amongst the greatest of Echani and was one of the youngest ever to be granted the title of Echani Battle Master. Although a lifetime ago, I can still clearly recall my time under his tutelage. I wasn't born an Echani nor a Jedi, yet though years of intense training, I was shaped into both. He demanded only perfection from me, and from his niece Telana, who would often seek informal training from her uncle, despite not being officially apprenticed to him. Then that explained, you were born a Jedi. Fucking, by necessity, by definition, you needed to be... No one is born a Jedi if we define it that way, because you need to be born force sensitive first to get training in either side of the force, essentially. But yeah, you were born a Jedi, you were born force sensitive, so you were gonna be taken over, well, you did qualify for being a Jedi, and all you lacked was training. Again, nobody's born Jedi. Jedi is an effect of a training and philosophy, so as a child you don't get either, so this isn't an argument. Then that explains your skill in combat. The Echani are great warriors. Interesting, an Echani trained fallen Jedi assassin who was once a child slave. You have quite the resume. When Solomon rescued me amid the slain corpses of my former masters, he said, "You can become that which has saved you, child, for the path of the Jedi is now yours to walk. But be warned, for it is a path filled with challenge and with difficulty. You may become the greatest of all Jedi, yet never forget this moment. For even in the darkest of hours, we can all draw strength from what we once were and what we have since become. Identity is important. Never forget the child on Sleheiron." And to remind me of my former life, of the child on Sleheiron, he gave me a nickname. A child's name. Matilda. Well, alright, so it's still a significant name. To this story, he called her Matilda, and that's important to her, but it wasn't her birth name, and we're not really getting it. At this point, you really could have had this name. You could have been Matilda, or you could have had an actual name, since we were already going back into the story, to a name you once held in importance, but you gave up to serve Revan as his shadow and just a sex object. At this point again, if it needed to be a nickname, and if we want to keep her a real name a secret, it might as well have been an endearment and a pet. A pet name, a nickname, after all, not necessarily an actual name that you're gonna carry for a little while longer. Then, who nicknames another person with an actual name? That's not how you do it. Then that explains why you believe the messenger on Korriban was speaking the truth. The name Matilda was something shared between only master and apprentice. Yeah, again, a pet endearment nickname would have been better than an actual name given to you. That would have been more personal, I think. Training to be both a Jedi and a Chani must have been difficult for you. Both are good, but rather than just confirming what you already know, I'd rather learn new things. Training to be both a Jedi and a Chani must have been difficult for you. So again, if it's just a culture, well then again, because I'm wondering, right, do we call like Jews and Arabs Jews and Arabs? Yes, we do, and that's a culture, not a different species. But people in Star Wars are treated like different races, like Mandalorians, like Ichani, like everyone else, like the whites of the galaxy. That's neither, right? Even if they're not white, normal and black kids. Thank you, Biden. Yeah, so I guess yes. It must have been difficult for you. It was never easy, but I knew that if I never gave in, I would be stronger for it in the end. I was right, and I would soon grow into a powerful warrior, well versed in the histories and traditions of both the Jedi and the Ichani. I was happy, so was Solomon. Warrior, you're a sentinel. Yet history was on the move, and things would soon change. The Republic was fighting a losing war against the Mandalorians, and despite their cries for help, the Jedi Order refused to intervene. What was I saying? Yeah, warrior, right. You're not a Jedi warrior, you're not a Jedi guardian, you're a Jedi... You must be Sentinel, otherwise Guardian and Counselor, which I am. So yes, Sentinel. Fucking... You failed. The Mandalorian Wars, yes. You're speaking of Mandalorian Wars, aren't you? Again, the second isn't more evil than the first, but the brevity is the soul of wit, so we're going with the Mandalorian Wars. Yes, the Mandalorian Wars, thanks for repeating that. As the Outer Rim burned and the Jedi Order did nothing, many of us would begin to question our own beliefs. I was no exception. I wanted to join the battle to free the Outer Rim from Mandalorian tyranny and honor our most basic of responsibilities as Jedi, to protect the weak from injustice. Yet Solomon thought differently. Like many of the Order's Jedi Masters, he was a veteran of the Great Sith War, and so was hesitant to intervene in a new conflict so soon after the last one's destructive end. And on a more personal of levels, he did not trust you, Revan, to lead that intervention. Yet my feelings towards you were different. In my eyes, you represented the epitome of what I, as a child new to the Jedi Order, had wanted to become. A powerful and honorable warrior who would defend the weak from tyranny at whatever the cost. It was these differences of opinion which formed the cracks in what was once the strongest of relationships. When I openly defied Solomon and joined the Revanchists or Revanchists, that relationship was then shattered. What became of Solomon? Did you ever see him again? This is a lore dump, and we're not learning anything that we couldn't or wouldn't or want to in opposition to something else. But isn't that indicative of everything else? I mean, she could just be talking, and we hardly need an input. Like, just before this, the only options that we could have go with is Mandalorian Wars and Mandalorian Wars, aren't they? Yeah, that's how important we are in the input here. I think it would have been maybe better if we learned this piece by piece during our travels and doing shit in gameplay, walking already going to the Korriban Wastelands. She could have been talking. She could have seen a piece of something that clued her in to start talking about something. It would have been spaced apart with more gameplay and less exposition dump, especially since we're not having really any input. She's not reacting to what we're saying, which is a big part of interacting with your crew members. Actually, you can interact with them, say what you think, and they will react to that. She's not reacting. She just keeps on talking. So of course that's a criticism, and you might say, well, they're amateurs and that's just a mod. But then again, what's the excuse? That you weren't good enough? You weren't good enough. Yes, I admit as well. As you do you. So we're on the same page. Only that needs to be said, I think. What became of... Oh, so if you want to make a mod like this, you'll know what to look out for. Of course, it's all educational. Of course, I'm not just shitting on you, right? Or any of you. What became of Solomon? Did you ever see him again? Yes, I did, but I was not the same woman he had once known. War changes people, and on Taris, a planet besieged by Mandalorian forces, war would change me. In a battle where I sought to liberate, I would only condemn. I had forgotten my master, but he had not forgotten me. We might be having a flashback and a double save. We are having double save, but we might be having a flashback. Which this mod is, at least in my eyes, known for. Blast of fire, explosions, screams. I lost myself in a soundscape of war as I fought to finally free Taris from Mandalorian occupation. It was a hard-fought battle and a costly one, for the Republic, for me. It was a battle that would later be known as the Second Battle of Taris.
Master Jedi! Master Jedi!
What conviction?
The Mandalorians are in disarray. Their defensive lines are weakened.
We should push the Mandis back whilst we still have a chance.
Mandis. What informations have we received from intelligence? How many more Mandalorians are expected to reinforce their front line?
Gained an advantage, but it's only a matter of time. Mandi reinforcements reach this sector.
The soldiers are giving everything they have and more. But if we're still dug in like this and those reinforcements arrive, we won't survive for much longer.
Then we must go on the offensive. We will charge the enemy lines and defeat them as they come. To arms, soldiers! Attack the enemy! Revan demands that we secure this walkway, and I, for one, do not intend to disappoint. What was the term again? Professionally voice acted? Far from it, I'd say. There is amateur 3D porn voiced better than this. Right. What about our levels? Matilda level 20, and she's already leveled up. So we have hardly anything to do about any of this. Defense bonus 3, reduction, plasterboard deflection 10. What options have we got when it comes to force powers? So we've got heal, speed, stasis, and lightsaber throw. Have we changed classes as well? No. We are a sentinel, though level 20. Our map is new, of course it is a reskin of Taris from the beginning of the game, but we need to go and murder. I don't know who I am, I don't know why I'm here. All I know is that I must kill. Stasis only, and shock is just one person, or can I target multiple at once? That would be useful if I could aim it right. I think one person. It would be best if I flanked, I think. And have I got only critical? No, I've got a bunch of attacks. Oh shit. Fortunately we've managed to level her up from there it is. See? Oh right, he's stunned. I should be doing flurry of blows actually. No, he's unstunned. Our guy is stunned. So in this moment of combat, let me just say that some information about a certain woman came out. Recent, relatively. And the idea is, I think I can do it like that. Lana Rhodes, of course, leader on the porn board in terms of popularity, but the interview came out talking about how she feels that she's been used by the porn industry, and she's now against porn. And she also says she's now asexual. Yeah, you're not. That's not how this works. It could be argued that you can discover that you are bisexual, that you are some sort of other sexuality, and you were just never willing to allow the thought of it to reach your mind and never had an opportunity to express it. But that's not to say that you didn't, for instance, turn bi from being heterosexual, right? I've got a lot of force and I can't throw the lightsaber because I'm too close. So Lana Rhodes now says, I don't really enjoy sex anymore, I'm asexual. No, you're not asexual, you're just used up, really, you're just used up. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, right? You're used up and you associate the sex from all the things that you complain about in porn, how they used you apparently, is the issue. And my problem is something feels wrong about this, right? So how would I articulate it? I thought about it, I mulled it over in my head, and I think I've got some words to put it into. Still not a stun. So she says that she was always a people pleaser, so she did all this and did all the scenes. Oh hey, will it work? Because it's paused. Have I killed everyone, or was that one still alive? I should have cast force speed on me as well. That would have given me more attacks, I'm pretty sure. Given. Yeah, I needed to unpause it as well.
We have defeated the Mandalorians. The Republic is victorious.
Here, now. Don't you dare let your guard down, soldier. The Mandalorian reinforcements have arrived. Prepare yourself. Yourselves. Right, so we keep on fighting. So she said she was used. Hey, we can loot this shit. Do you think it will come with us to the next part of the game? Any game? I'm gonna loot it anyway because I'm a loot goblin. I'm gobbling that loot, actually. So she was young, naive, entered porn, did all the things to please others, and then she says, during the scene, you can't really say no, and if you do, maybe it will be cut out. Maybe you can't really say no. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and then you'll just start over from where it's comfortable, right? Because there's like again. Sasha Grey said that she went into porn because it has a lot of supervision, so she wanted to do all the kinky shit in a safe, protective environment. So you can say no and have it respected. But she didn't. And again, who are you trying to blame for that? You yourself said you're the crowd pleaser, you're the people pleaser. You can't blame porn that they gave you an offer and they kept giving you an offer or offers. You said yes. All you had to do was say no. You've got only yourself to blame, and it's not porn's fault, no matter how you slice it. So get fucked, Lana Rhodes. Also, this is a relatively new interview with her about all that bullshit, but no one really comes back to the fact that, I mean, she is being criticized for criticizing porn industry, considering how much the porn industry gave her, the fame and money, that is, specifically. But she says no, whatever, and shit like that. But also, like I said, back in summer, I think, or somewhere like that, you would remember me playing Black Mesa, where I mentioned that Lana Rhodes went into oh hey, we are getting XP, so will it stack for when we get into our own character to do rest of the things? Hopefully. During my Black Mesa playthrough, I talked about her going into NFTs and her NFT collection. And with NFT collection... Oh, right, I was supposed to cast speed on me. There we go. NFT collection, and with the NFT collection, she released a bunch of pictures, sold them, or at least took in the bids, and then disappeared. Just pulled the rug out from underneath everyone, took the money and ran. And no one's talking about this. No one talks about her criminal activity. Everyone's just so excited and so stunned about how brave she is, that she's against porn now. Again, consequences of your own actions. You are the people's pleaser. You could have gone and pleased people in different ways, in different jobs. Maybe you could have had a legitimate career. Maybe you would have been poorer as well. But now it's having the cake and eating it too, right? I hate the porn. Porn gave me a lot of money for very little experience and very little competence, qualifications, what I'm trying to say, training. No training, no education for that. Easy job, just for the face, and lots of money for it. And now you said porn is evil, and it's all my fault because I'm the people's pleaser and I couldn't say no, and it should be the porn industry that should be admonished for that. Maybe it's time to admonish the whores for that. Maybe. So yeah, stop simping. Someone broke the robot before I managed to do that. We're doing pretty well, even though... I mean, are all these people doing anything in this situation? Because it feels like I'm doing all the damage and they're doing all the just standing there and being a part of the scenery. Like actually, because we had a situation where this happens where two people fight each other and they will continue fighting each other until you talk to them or become a part of the combat. Like I think in Catacombs, on Korriban, when we were roaming around trying to get to Terentatic, possibly, I'm not sure. So we're doing. So this seems to be a working strategy. Wound or something. Critical strike to stun them. Again, I paused and then it's a scene transition. And then critical for more stuns. And better critical hit. And just more hits. So 3 more. Hopefully it's the last one, and it might be a long sequence as well. So we... Yep, that's a stock piece of audio from the game already. But if it's a gameplay, that I can just stop and see you in the next episode that I will play for you for free. Alternatively, I'll play some other game for you, also for free. Maybe it's already recorded. Maybe you'll catch on to a new Let's Play. Anyway, I hope to see you there, and I hope you enjoyed this one. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video by liking, sharing it, and with every other video on my channel, preferably by watching. Subscribe to the channel, and if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault.